almost 7 out of every 10 children
Right.
who are in elementary school right now will have to get into jobs that don't exist right now.
We are a national nonprofit that provides tech training to veterans, their spouses, and young adults aged 18 to 26 for free.
Very laser focused on increasing the number of women in technology.
There's so much that these young adults and our vets who are coming back into the workforce are looking to just do something different, and our women can do. So I'm excited about this topic.
So let's start with Juliet. Juliet, tell us something about yourself. Tell us your role, and then share a little unknown fact about you.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. My name is Juliette Odima. I am the board chair and director of professional development for the Alliance of Technology and Women, an exceptional organization that's trying to bridge achievement gaps among women and minorities and some men in technology, bringing more leaders into technology. And my role is to make sure that anyone who's getting into tech, anyone who is already a leader in tech, anyone who is kind of stuck in their career can upskill, reskill, and reimagine themselves and get back into the workforce or enter the workforce for the first time. Little known fact about me, you might want to know this. I grew up on a farm. Did you know that, Fern?
I did not know that.
I grew up on a farm, and we had not one, not two, not three, but 14,000 chicken.
What? Shut up.
7,000 on every floor, on both floors, yes. I guess that's where I get my work ethic from, because we would wake up at 4:30 in the morning. We would export flowers. We grew a lot of crops. That is the farmer in me.
All right. I love it. Love it.
Juliet. Juliet grew up on a farm.
Yes, and I'm very passionate about our neurodivergent brothers and sisters.
Yeah, so am I. And you know what? I'm so happy that you brought that up. We could weave that in today's conversation. It's really prevalent, and especially for the parents who are dealing with neurodivergence. So thank you for bringing that up. And I'd love to bring that into the conversation today.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so now we have Dietrich. Dietrich, please introduce yourself. Tell us what organization that you're here to represent, and also share a little unknown fact about yourself.
Yes. Hello. Thank you for having me. My name is Dietrich Garza-Propes. I am a business development and career placement manager here at InPower. We are a national nonprofit that provides tech training to veterans, their spouses, and young adults aged 18 to 26 for free.
Awesome.
InPower currently operates in New York, Texas, California, Maryland, Toronto, New Jersey, Missouri, North Carolina, Ohio, and Michigan. So we're nationwide, definitely helping the masses. So, and a little fun fact about me. I'm a first-gen college graduate, earning my credentials at Le Cordon Bleu.
Yes,
so
love the first gen.
Thank you. I'm a classically trained chef.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, so when's the meal? I love French food.
Oh yes, so do I. So do I. So kind of moving out of that, early on in my career, I moved to West Virginia, and I worked at a farm-to-table restaurant in the foothills of Charleston.
Wow.
It was there that I realized that cooking, while a deep passion of mine, was a hobby, and it was something that was a lifelong career, not good choice for me. Don't get me wrong, I did spend a lot of time in the kitchen, so sometimes standing on my feet for 13 hours a day during the holiday rush, but it definitely was exhilarating. Some of my most valuable life lessons were learned in the heat of a kitchen and a bakery. But I always felt a deeper calling, and it kind of led me to InPower. So instead of feeding people through their bellies, it was more about helping them see their greatest potential.
Love it. Love it.
Wow,
Love it.
I love that. Man, I bet you got hot in your kitchen.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So what's your favorite dish that you like to cook?
Oh, I like to cook it all. And I'm one of the, they always, early on in my career, people would say, oh, do you like to bake or do you like to cook? I like to do both.
Okay.
And I collect cookbooks.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, so I have I followed Bobby Flay and a couple of other, renowned chefs, and have a couple of signed cookbooks. Don't tell anybody. But I love to cook, and I love to bake.
So I'm going to share with you a cookbook. It's called Yo Black and This,
Ooh.
and it's a Cajun cookbook. And so I'm from New York, but I love to cook as well. And I make all my Cajun dishes from this cookbook. And people are like, now where are you
Yeah.
It just has the secret spices to make everything just phenomenal. So
I
I'd be
need that.
happy to share that cookbook with you,
Need that
especially
in
since
my
you're a cookbook
collection.
collector.
Yes.
I've never
yes.
heard of a cookbook collector before.
Yes.
Either.
First time for everything.
Love it.
So now we're going to get into a little bit of why we're here today. And I love the diversity that we have a local Dallas organization. As you guys know, Two Lit Chicks is based out of Dallas. And we also have a national organization that's doing tremendous impact. I was trying to count. I think it was like 13 or 14 states. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like
Yes.
that. 13 or
Yes.
14
yes.
states. So we have a national perspective and we also have a local perspective. So Juliet, tell us, what is the overall mission and vision of DFW, ATW, Alliance for Technology and Women? And you talked a little bit about kind of upskilling and reskilling and feeding back into the community, but can you talk about the overall mission of the organization?
The overall mission, and thanks for the question. This is an organization that I'm very passionate about. I know both of you are all four of us are very passionate about this organization. We are very laser focused on increasing the number of women in technology and the number of leaders who are women in technology. We are very laser focused on that. We do that through many programs, but that is our core focus as an organization.
And I believe the organization is 20 years old.
It has been 20 years old. We just
Yes.
celebrated our 20th anniversary
That's
as
awesome.
an organization.
Awesome.
We've been led by women from all walks of life. We have seen growth in our male population. So we love our men and we
Allies.
have our allies who are men. We have the support of a very strong board with a broad background in technology, but also an advisory council that looks amazing in terms of its of representation and diversity,
Right.
but also very highly skilled CIOs, CEOs, CTOs of large organizations. Fern, you were a leader in PepsiCo, CIO, SVP. I mean, you had probably all the initials anyone would want.
Not just CTO VP, but I do agree. I think, and being a part of that advisory board for a number of years, I love the diversity of thought and the different perspectives that the leaders are bringing to help shape the organization and to make sure it stays in the right direction.
Absolutely, yes, and we lean on the support of the likes of you, yourself, Alicia, as the COO of GXA Technologies. You have been a supporter for years. It is people like you, leaders like you, who have vast experience, who bring in your expertise and say, okay, I have seen my career grow at this rate. This is how I think I could make it easier for the next person. This is what it takes to work in an organization like mine. And
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what's happening with Empower? I mean, you guys I was looking, I'm like, I think Empower is 20 years old, but I'm not 100% for sure. Help us out with mission and vision and age of the organization.
Yeah, we were founded in 2020.
Oh, gosh.
Or no, actually 2000. Sorry,
Oh,
my
okay.
bad.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was
So
like, wow, I was
23.
way
Yes.
off.
No. Yeah. My apologies. And we, so it launched 2002, and so we launched with young professionals, young adults, and essentially our mission, and it was founded in New York. I don't know if you knew that or not, but our mission is to create pathways to prosperity by launching digital careers for veterans and young adults from underserved communities. We believe that tech skills can be a powerful tool for economic mobility, and we're committed to empowering individuals with the training and support they need to succeed. I've seen it several times myself, going into and starting a cohort. We just started one earlier this week on Monday. So super excited to see all the bright faces and everybody being so excited to be part of something, bigger than themselves. And our vision is a future where everyone, regardless of background, has access to education and opportunities necessary to achieve economic independence and contribute to the digital economy.
I think that's amazing. We had another podcast that we talked about experience, and we were talking about cyber experience and where do you get experience so that you can actually get a role. So it sounds like what Empower is doing not only provides the education, but the practical experience to help you land the next opportunity. So that's awesome. So before I turn it back over to Alicia, let's just talk, let's just go back to the data. Data tells, stories sell.
Mhm.
So I know, Juliet, having worked with you in the past, you are grounded with a ton of data around what's the need. And I know that Empower is also grounded in a lot of data. So can you speak to a little bit to, what's created this burning platform to help upskill and reskill women and vets and young adults back into the workforce?
I'll start with some really important data that is not just affecting us here in the Dallas region and in a few in the states that we all serve, because we serve women from other states as well. But the World Economic Forum projected that its future, it was actually a jobs report that they put forth, and they said that half of all employees will have to reskill by 2025.
Oh, wow.
I had to read that several times over. Okay, I have a data analytics background. I was a leader. I was an executive with a data science and analytics company. So that's my language.
Right.
And so when I saw that, I thought, no, let's learn more. How can it be half?
So by 2020, because 2025 is just next year.
It's next year.
Not 5 years.
soon.
Next year.
It's next year. Okay, some of the reasons that they cited was the rise of automation, of course, new technologies that keep emerging. I mean, who knew that AI would be so prevalent 5 years ago, right? As it is now. And then the other thing that they said is, and this is from a report from the World Economic Forum, that said that all of the 65%, not all, 65% of children
Right.
who are in elementary school right now will have to work in completely new job types that do not exist today. Just take that in for a second.
Wow.
65%, so almost 7 out of every 10 children
Right.
who are in elementary school right now will have to get into jobs that don't exist right now.
That
What is
sounded
that?
like your story with what you had in elementary school with your teacher.
Yes,
The previous podcast.
Basically,
about.
I was told the same exact information when I was in elementary school.
Wow.
And so this is the trend of
Mhm.
technology.
Mhm.
We're watching it. It's on the train.
We're watching it right now. So what happens is that, okay, we still have to go back. So that why we are passionate about this at the Alliance of Technology and Women, and I'm sure with Empower, that's why you're passionate, is the achievement gaps to get there, to get the reskilling that's needed for half of us by next year, right? Is not that those achievement gaps continue to grow among underserved populations, be they women, be they individuals of color, individuals who are neurodivergent. And I think that's where we come in, because not everyone has the bandwidth and the blessing of being in a 4-year degree program, master's degree program, or doctorate program where they can. Not everyone has the ability or the financial wherewithal to do that. And those are the gaps that we are very intentionally filling within a short period of time, upskilling and then helping them get in the market as quickly as possible, and getting people out of cycles of poverty in the process.
I'm hearing something special around breaking that cycle of poverty.
Yeah.
So let's turn to Dietrich and give us some data. Not to put you on the spot when we are here on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
I knew I was special. So let's talk about the data from an Empower perspective. And what are you tracking and why it leads you to fulfilling the mission and vision?
Yeah. So one of the things that I actually pulled up from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they project that a 13% growth in computer and IT jobs from 2020 to 2030, larger than any other industry and occupation. So the data analytics is greater than ever. Bridging that tech gap, the tech skills gap through education and upskilling is critical to meet, this demand. So it's something that we, try to stay on the forefront, because that's a lot of what we do and what we track as well. And that's something that we try to stay ahead of too as well.
Awesome.
So I know a lot about both of your programs, but we want to introduce specific information about the programs that you're over. Juliet, the program with DFW-ATW that you spearhead has been, I've just been witnessing and watching you for the last few years spearhead this program. Tell us more about the Pacific program that you spearhead with DFW-ATW, and basically what skills or the people that are in the program gaining from what DFW-ATW is offering.
Thank you for that. I have to say that the program that I spearhead is one that just gives me so much joy. It's so I head professional development. Under professional development, we have four arms. So the first one is Ignite, which is the program that, just like it sounds, it ignites the career, the tech career in women and men, right? And so this is specifically for individuals who are trying to acquire their first technology skills, or trying to upskill or reskill if they've been out of the workforce for a long period of time. We do know, but a lot of the women that we serve have been out of the workforce, sometimes for 18 and 20 years. Some of them were in technology back when, when, depending on what technologies there were, some of them as far back as DOS skills and so on. But what we're trying to do with Ignite is to get them with the modern technology skills that they need today. Some of the skills would be cloud computing. So it could be Salesforce, AWS, Azure. We have also had training programs that are geared towards project management. We found that for some women, it was rather intimidating to start coding, straight up. I mean, how do you teach SQL to someone who has little to no computer skills, right? I'm not saying that's the majority of who we serve. We have a great spread of women, some with, about 20% with little to no technology background, others, who are master's degrees and beyond. And so what we tried to do was to find a place that they could start and thrive and feel good about trying to get their first job. When I was given this challenge, when I joined the Alliance of Technology and Women as a board chair, I was asked, hey, can you create a program that can upskill and reskill women and help them get into the workforce, women who have varying backgrounds, right? Salespeople, marketing, and so on. And so, with the help of the directors and the president and others, we're able to bring in programs in partnership with Salesforce. Then after we started to see some really good traction and good successes in the program, Capital One came along and said, hey, we want to sponsor more women. And we created a program for AWS. After that, we had Accenture, which, we kept bringing the bar higher and higher. We continued to, Accenture was amazing. They even trained and helped us train our women in partnership with AWS. And then they were able to hire a number of them, which was fantastic. We didn't have that as a KPI. That became our new KPI. And then PepsiCo came back again and they said, wait, we want to do more. So they brought in, another big sponsorship. We were able to train women in Azure. And then we pivoted into, with the help of Truist Bank, we pivoted into project management because we found that there are skills that are transferable, and these women would be excellent in a technology environment in project management. So we wrote a grant, had the honor of helping write that grant. It was a 6-figure grant, and we were able to train a host of women. PepsiCo came back, and the story goes on and on. What am I trying to say? With this Ignite program, we have seen women who had little to no hope of ever pivoting into a tech career. We've seen women who have and I'll talk about this a little bit later, women who had that learning curve and they came out with the confidence that they can actually enter into an interview. You know how intimidating it is? We all have been in technology.
Yes,
how intimidating to get that interview,
Yes.
to get through that interview. And then especially if you have no tech background, it's crazy. And then the other program that we have is the Rise to Sea Level, which we are looking forward to launching with some help from our partners, which is to upskill women who are already in executive roles, so VP and up, to get into C-level roles, right? Like Miss Fern and like you. And then the other program is the Employer Connect program, which is connecting our employer partners with the amazing talent that we have in the Alliance of Technology and Women. In a nutshell, those are the programs I oversee, and I cannot wait to tell you the outcomes that we have had so far.
You do a fantastic job, Julia. I've watched you firsthand manage these programs.
Thank you.
And I'm telling you, you put your head, your heart, your gut into them, and the delivery and the outcomes are huge. So I just want to give you your flowers and say kudos for what you've done in the community and really changing the lives of these women.
Thank you.
So we've worked with Ignite on the Ignite program in my prior role, and it was just phenomenal. The last time we had an interest call, I'm not sure what you call it, but it was kind of like come learn about the program.
Orientation.
Orientation.
Open house,
right?
Yes.
Open house. There had to be about 65 women on the call.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing with the interest that's grown in the community.
And we had said no to about 208 of them.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
We had said no
So
to
that's showing what the real demand is.
Wow.
absolutely.
That's amazing.
From around the country.
So, Dietrich, I would like for you to jump into this conversation. I've, of course, been involved with Empower.
Yes,
It's been
we definitely
a
appreciate
little
that.
over a year now, I believe.
Yes.
And I want you to just shed light on more information about your program.
We were founded in the 2000s. We were in partnership with companies like JP Morgan Chase, Accenture, Microsoft, and we were founded on the premise of providing tech support for nonprofits, and then we kind of grew from there. And so we offer several programs now that are designed to upskill, reskill, and help people transitioning into another industry. So, we've worked with you before, and you've come to our graduations. You've seen firsthand, the amount of support, and our pride and joy, our flagship kind of program is our Tech Fundamentals program. And that provides participants with essential IT skills, including hardware, software support, networking, and security. The program also includes professional development training to help trainees, we call them trainees instead of students, navigate the job market confidently. So that's kind of our flagship program. But we also offer, and after you complete that program, you are then given the opportunity to apply to our advanced programs. And we offer those are cybersecurity and cloud computing. These programs are designed to build upon the foundational knowledge and equip trainees with industry recognized certifications that level up their employability. So it's helping them really kind of gain skills. So, and part of my job and what I do there is essentially, help them see their greatest potential, open those doors for them, and see, hey, you can, secure a job at JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America. And these are the opportunities that you have in front of you, and just continue on in our program, and we'll help you get and guide you there, essentially, with resume building workshops as well with our professional development program. It's a great opportunity. We also offer military and veteran programs. And we have one of them is called Empower Skill Bridge. It's a cybersecurity program. You earn essential certifications and launch a new career in cybersecurity in as little as 10 weeks.
Wow.
All while still in your final months of active duty.
Oh, nice.
So, and ensuring a smooth transition into the civilian life, essentially. So we saw a need there, and we saw the need to help folks transitioning out into civilian life. And so helping them is really, really great. Additionally, we recently launched, and I was telling you earlier, Dr. Makaye, about our Path to Tech program, which empowers women to enter the tech industry, potentially becoming a full stack or software developer in under 6 months.
Wow.
That's
I love
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that y'all have given us more information about your programs and what you offer to the general public. So now I want to ask, how do you define success for your programs and initiatives? And I know both of y'all sit in the area of success. I've had an opportunity to work and see firsthand the graduates that come out of your program, but how do you define success? I'm going to go to you, Dietrich, first with this question.
Okay. Success defined for me and for InPower, because I align with what we, kind of track and where our metrics are, is the impact that we have on our trainees' lives and their ability to secure meaningful employment in the tech industry. That's something that I'm like truly passionate about. When you see someone, and I have a few stories, you see someone who goes from homelessness to actually providing for their family. That's something that is the transition, the transformative power that you actually see firsthand, is impactful in my life, but also into other people's lives as well. As pay it forward for sure.
Juliet, I want to talk to you now about success. How do you define success? You specifically head up the Ignite program. And as these ladies are coming through, then you talk about your program success level and initiatives that basically sets these ladies up to go to the next level?
Absolutely. And that's a very, very good question, because we don't, and I know Empower is this way. We don't want to just do programs or train for the sake of training. We are also not trying to be a 4-year degree program, which we do respect, right? But there is this particular space and gap that we fill that requires for us to move at a pace that's faster and achieve the goals a little bit faster. Why is that? So how we measure our success, and this is part of the why. So one of the key points that we are after, or goals that we are after, is introducing women into new tech skills or technologies. When we have that, so that's one check mark that we have to go by. So we just can't do resume preparation or leadership development without introducing actual tech skills.
We kind of really hone into the percentage of trainees who successfully complete our program, right? We just don't want to, high enrollment numbers. We want to get you through our program so that you're able to secure employment and really change the impact that's going to have on your life and the lives around you as well. So we also focus on the number of participants who earn industry recognized certification. So, going through the program, you have, access to certain certifications. But then we also track the percentage of graduates who secure employment within 6 months of completing our program, right? We really get specific, because that's that sweet spot where we can actually go in and say, wow, we really did make the biggest impact. Now we need to monitor their career advancements and continue, helping them professionally develop, over time with our alumni services as well. So we offer that support too. When you go through our program successfully, we have an alumni engagement manager who is fantastic. And she's regionally located here. So she's hands-on for sure. And she helps, partner with our employer partners too, as well. So it's something that, beyond those quantitative measures, we also have key factors like participant satisfaction. So when you go through the program, everyone learns a little bit different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we really want to hear kind of your feedback and how your experience was through the program, so we can change and enhance our program and add value where we need to. And we also have personal growth, something that we also, really kind of care about. When you're meeting with our organizations that we partner with, we're like, are you developing that professional network, right? Because sometimes it's not about, what it's about who sometimes. So it definitely helps when you have a larger, more robust network to partner with those organizations.
So Dietrich, that's great. And, you talked about your alumni program, and that kind of sparked a question for me around. So it sounds like people graduate, the trainees go on, they have great success, but they come back and give again.
Yes. And that's a lot of our, trainees that go through our program are referrals of our graduates of our program, which is huge. So word of mouth, we don't hear about us, we don't have a huge marketing team. So the referral, our referral process is great in that regard. And then we also offer an opportunity for our alumni to come back and mentor our trainees in our program. and help guide them, to a successful path of completion. And then we also invite them in to speak at like graduation events, and kind of give their story about how they went through the program, what made them successful, and how are they actually doing at their new organization, at their new job that they secured going through our program.
So both of you guys talked about impact, and we've kind of already touched on this, and you gave us a great story, Juliet, one that you're really passionate about. And there are probably a ton of stories. Are there any, between either one of you, open question around any stories that you just say, man, this one just gets me here, and that you'd want to share on impact of the program for a woman or a vet or a young person? Any story that you just feel like, I'd love to share this because it shows the power and the impact.
Ladies first.
Oh, I'm not shy about that. Oh, and I don't think you are either. But the stories are riveting. The stories move your heart. They move your soul. They move our sponsors' souls. And one that just, outside of the big picture, right? Because when the program first started, I told my team, let's make as many mistakes as possible. This is a program that I was told, hey, you have 6 months to create a program. In 3 months, I was able to kick it off with my amazing team. But then we had just industry certifications were our goal at the time. And then we increased our KPIs to, wait, mastery is going to be another goal. And then we said, okay, now wage gains are going to be a goal. So in 2021, we had, for our smallest programs, because it was very young, we had about $335,000 in wage gains. But you have to understand, it's people who came from jobs which were, minimum wage, right, and then increasing their income significantly. So the wage gains were $335,000. And then in 2022, we kind of jumped a little bit to 1.3 million.
Whoa.
Then
time out.
Yes.
335 to 1.3?
100%.
So a $1 million jump.
Yes.
That's massive.
Oh, do you want
That's huge.
Do you want to know the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's just give applause to that.
That's a good one.
Thank you. Because now we are at $2.9 million in wage gains.
That's amazing.
$2.9 million in wage gains since last year. So you can see there is something that employers are saying. They're saying through they're demonstrating their what's the word I'm looking for? They're demonstrating their confidence in the program by saying, I'm going to hire this person and that person and that person. One of those ladies, oh my gosh, you talked about a story that jumps out at you.
Touches your heart.
Touches my heart. I got a call from this. We're just about to start the program the following week, and I got a call, the cohort. It was an AWS cohort sponsored by Accenture, amazing Accenture. And I got a phone call from this lady who said, hey, I was given your number, and someone said, you can help me. And I said, oh, we just finished the applications. We're about to go into the open house and the following week, but I don't know, I know you guys are very passionate and you hear what you're not there. You listen behind, you listen for some things. And I heard it. And I said, what is it that you're not telling me? We'll figure out how you can get into the program and so on. And after a lot of pushing, and I have her blessing to share her story, and she would have loved to be here also. But she said, after a lot of pushing, because people don't want to really come out with what is going on with them. She mentioned that they had been, battling homelessness and had been living out of a van for, I don't know, was it 9 months or so?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. With 2 children, and had just gotten her first apartment. Would you come from homelessness to your first apartment, and how are you going to pay for that?
Right.
$1,400 a month. And then that's the point at which she got that phone call saying, call Juliet, they have this program, etc. There was no way we were going to say no. So we made a case for her. Let me tell you, Shaniqua Evans, where are you? Shaniqua Evans, we are so proud of you. She not only successfully joined the program, right. By the way, we reached out to some friends because we needed to get her help with her apartment, which had only a few items.
Right.
By the end of that weekend, we had leather furniture, TVs, all of the things that the kids needed, and so on.
Wonderful.
It was more like a move that bus kind of, you've seen that move that bus, and amazing people who just answered the phone and said, we're going to help.
Right.
And then she started the program, had excellent attendance, worked, cried, screamed, and really poured her heart into it. Graduated successfully, got certified in AWS. Accenture decided, you're coming in as an apprentice. We love what we're seeing.
Right.
And now fast forward. So she was an apprentice for a period of time. And then the evaluation period, they get really nervous about the evaluation. Am I good enough? Am I good enough? And she then got promoted and became a data engineer. From homelessness, let's go back a little bit. From homelessness to then, having a training program in well, she had no technology background, to then getting into her first career as an apprentice in a tech environment, to then becoming a data engineer. She now moved to Atlanta and she's rocking it.
Awesome.
And she said, you're going to be my mentor, but I need to say this one thing. And this, I think we need to just focus on this one small thing. She told me something that was a gut punch for me. She said, Juliet, you're the first professional I have ever seen who looks like me.
What?
You're the first professional I have ever seen and encountered and met with and worked with who looks like me. So how many more of those do we want to impact together? I think we can do it with a lot of help. Yes.
So congratulations to her name, Shaniqua?
Shaniqua Evans.
Shaniqua Evans.
Shaniqua.
Congratulations to you for the tenacity, the resilience, the bravery, and your hunger to fight it all and conquer it all. So that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Great story.
Absolutely.
Dietrich, do you have a heart jerker like that?
I can't top that story, but I definitely will tell one that's near and dear to my heart. Or I got one or two maybe if we have time. But I won't divulge too much information. But we, found out, well, actually through talking to one of my leaders, that we had a particular trainee that went through our program that in his late 60s. So he's a veteran, so we don't have any age restrictions. And, we're being a virtual program as well, right? So in his late 60s, had kind of given up on kind of life, had lost his wife, and was homeless, and had children, but they were living international. So he didn't have a lot of friends, kind of a loner type. He actually read about Empower through one of the newsletters, the veteran newsletters, and decided to go out on a limb and join our program. He successfully completed against kind of all odds, right? So, issuing him a laptop, providing that service for him really kind of changed, and actually providing professional development, an opportunity for him. He actually went through the program successfully, secured employment with a very large supporter of our program, and went from homelessness to actually, having his own apartment, and is very proud and has been with that organization since he graduated the program. So he went, and he pays it forward. He talks to some of our alumni of our program as well, and our trainees. And so it's really impactful to hear stories like that and to see it come back. We also have another, and this was kind of personal to me, because in our program, we're kind of, we're required to meet with the trainees one-on-one. I wouldn't say required, but we meet with them one-on-one to kind of go over, some barriers they may have, maybe transportation. So if we're sitting into a job interview, how can we help get you there? You live near a DART, line, or do you need a transportation card? Maybe we can assist you with, or dressing for success, like providing, a suit. And this is kind of like what you would wear traditionally. So guiding them right to the right place. I, jumped on a video call on Zoom with one of our trainees, and he's in the middle of a McDonald's. And I was kind of taken back because I never really had that. I've had, several one-on-ones with other trainees and never had anybody, kind of. So I was taken back, kind of asked him, hey, what's going on? His service was kind of spotty too as well. He said, I'm here for the free Wi-Fi. I said, oh, okay. So we also offer a hotspot as
nice.
well
Yeah.
if we need to. So I was trying to figure out if, he needed some Wi-Fi support. And he stated that, he was there because it was a cool place to sit at and to actually take this one-on-one with me, this one-on-one meeting. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, definitely, you can do it at home too, or, maybe you can do it at the library. And I was given a couple of different options. He said, well, I don't really have a home. I live out of my car. And I was taken back. I was like, okay, you're living in your car. How can I help? That's the next question that came out of my mouth. Like, how can I come get you? Can I come pick you up? Can I give you, so I got off the phone with him, got off that meeting with him, reached out to some of our support services internally with our social support managers and tried to find him a place to stay. Reaching back out to him, he was like, I'm good with living in my car. I really want to kind of do this on my own. I want to provide, for myself, and, I'm a grown adult and I want to do this. And this is something that I'm proud of. And so he actually did it. He has secured employment and is now having a place to stay. And so it was really great, seeing that he took the initiative. I definitely wanted to help him, but it was great. Very impactful.
Dietrich, because when I spoke at the graduation, it was a student there, just the sheer determination of the students in both programs. It was a student there that was trying to get to the graduation, and something happened with the dart bus, and he had to ride his skateboard to the graduation.
That is correct.
Yes. Wow.
And so that story alone, and through the Empower, definitely opened my eyes up to say that you must be offering something that someone is willing to get on a skateboard to make it.
And made it.
Yeah, and he made it.
made it to the graduation. Yes.
So that was a story that stood out to me when I was there.
We got him an Uber home too.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did. Yeah, so it was good.
What I love about both of the stories and examples that you shared is that it's not just about the programs, but the wraparound support.
Absolutely.
So whether it be the hotspot or car service or childcare service, but that wraparound support really helps people because, it's half of the equation to get the education.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get to where you have to be to do the interview or don't have the clothes, to show up and present yourself the right way, that all factors into it. So hats off to not just providing the program, but that wraparound support that makes a difference as well.
It makes, I think, a good chunk of the difference, right? Because you can have, like you're saying, we can have all the willpower that you have, but if you're a survivor of domestic violence, I mean, you have barriers upon barriers upon barriers, right? If you have struggled with homelessness for a period of time, there's so many components to those experiences that are gut-wrenching. It's not just about focusing, you can just focus and you can go through this program. I'm sure you can do it. Unless we provide those supports and bring in the homeless shelters that we've been able to partner with, and I'm sure you guys have been able to partner with them as well, to provide the mental health support for those that need it, or a home or some place or some safety for their children so that they can focus on upskilling and getting ahead. It's kind of like, I've heard that the analogy that if you're climbing a mountain, you want to first put your pick and solidify your stance first before you try to climb higher. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish together with other nonprofits like us.
So, so for our audience out there that wants to help, I think there's a couple of resources that you can offer. One is, and I believe in, sharing your head, sharing your heart, sharing your hands. And what can our audience, how can they help? And then the next question is, what other resources, if folks want to take advantage of your programming and they're looking to upskill and reskill themselves, because we're talking to all of you and you could be coming from a different walk of life to say, hey, it's time for me to upskill, reskill. How can I leverage the programming? Or there could be someone say, hey, I want to volunteer or I want to give money. How can people help? And then how can people who want to upskill and reskill leveraging your programs engage?
Detrick?
So that's a great question. I didn't touch on this, and it kind of triggered me to talk about this too. We also offer services to help those in our community as well that I didn't even think about until you actually said that. So additionally, we have our Dallas Community Help Desk. It's powered by AT&T. It provides free tech support to the greater Dallas area, staffed by Empower alumni.
Wow.
We're here to help with computer issues, internet concerns, digital literacy tools, and offer workshops.
What's the name of the program again?
It's our Dallas Community Help Desk.
Dallas Community Help Desk. Okay.
And you can call us for support for internet issues or connectivity issues for free. You can reach us at 469-306 0469. Again, that's 469-306-0469 for support. We're there Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I will be calling.
Wow.
No,
Yes.
that's great. Any other ways? So we have major corporations who might be looking, everyone who might be listening, because we think we have volunteers and we have eyes and ears everywhere. If an organization said, "Hey, I want to sponsor or support Empower," could they lean in and do that?
You can visit our website by visiting www.npower.org, and you can donate on our website.
Awesome.
Or you can apply for any of our programs online, and we have recruiters that will reach out to you in your area and talk to you about any of our programs that we offer as well.
Wonderful. So how do we get engaged if we want to do the DFW, ATW, the Alliance for Technology Women right here in Dallas? How do I say, "Hey, I want to volunteer," or "I want to give some money," or "Hey, I'd like to sign up for your programming"? How do you do that?
Well, I can tell you right now that all of this impact that you've heard about, you might not know that this is a volunteer-led organization. We have been able to have all of those accomplishments, impact women who are survivors of domestic violence, recent divorcees who've been who've been married for 20 plus years and coming out of the marriage with nothing, people who have been widows, people who have, as I mentioned, struggled with homelessness, other people who dropped out of college and could not go back because of life circumstances. But all of the impact that you've heard, all of the $2.9 million in wage gains and so much more that we haven't even touched on. And, the pass rates, we have graduation rates at 97% now.
Wow.
For the last program. Prior to that,
awesome.
we were averaging about 83 to 85% in graduation and percentage rates. Now we have surpassed 95 and 97% in graduation rates. We need your help. Can you imagine if we had the support of your dollars, how much more we'll be able to do?
Absolutely.
Truist gave us $100,000 and we were able to train a host of women. We got them Six Sigma certified. They became Scrum Masters. They're now working. Others, they need more help, which means they need the job opportunities. So it's not just your dollars, right? But you may have jobs that you're thinking, I don't need a cybersecurity engineer right now, but I need a help desk agent. Or I need an entry-level, tech support person. Or it may even be that you need a data engineer or you need someone who's in marketing. We've got people who've gone through our program successfully who are directors of marketing. They were just in transition. I mentioned that our program serves people who are also in transition, who had a gap in employment. But that doesn't mean that they don't come with industry experience from somewhere else.
Right.
We've had directors of sales. We've had a director of marketing who now became, I think, a senior director after being through our program. You might have those job opportunities that are tech jobs, tech adjacent jobs, and non-technical jobs. Our women and men just need a foot in the door. They're willing to work their way up.
So listen, we have had a great dialogue. I thank you so much for coming to share what's happening nationally with Empower.
Thank you.
What's happening locally with DFW, ATW, We know that you're creating the pipeline to the new digital workforce
Oh, yes.
at empower.org.
Yes.
We know that you're strengthening the pipeline of women in technology at dfwatw.org. People can donate, people can volunteer, and you can sign up for all these great programs that you offer. And that's fabulous for serving the community to make sure that we are staying vibrant in tech, because we know that's where the demand is. And so thank you for imparting your knowledge, imparting your insights, imparting your stories, because that really does impact and change our community. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank you
Dietrich.
so much. We definitely appreciate. We can't continue our, what we offer to our communities without support from folks, from individuals like you on your podcast. We definitely appreciate the support and the outreach.
Once again, thank you so much for joining Two Lit Chicks podcast. Definitely giving back and paying it forward.